You were born an original. Don't allow yourself to die as a copy. Folks, if you're a prepper looking to add to your long-term food preps, then it's a must for you to learn how easily you can get foods pretty inexpensive that have a 30-year shelf life from the LDS Cannery. And we'll jump right into that right after the channel intro. Remember, you are ultimately responsible for protecting yourself and for providing for yourself. Always be the wolf hunter. Don't be the sheep nor the wolf. Not long after I first started prepping, I kept hearing about the LDS Cannery from other preppers, but I never actually purchased from them until about a year ago or so. And boy, do I wish that I had bought most of my food from them rather than the amount that I had bought bulk and packaged myself. Now, some of you experienced preppers may already be familiar with the LDS Cannery, but I really hope some brand new preppers see this video. Now, if you're not familiar with the LDS Cannery, the LDS stands for Latter-day Saints, or the Church of the Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormons. I've heard that it's part of the Mormons' religious beliefs to be prepared, to have 1 year's worth of food and finances put back, etc. Now, it's mostly called the LDS Cannery, but their website calls it the Home Storage Center, so that's what I'm mostly going to call it in this video. But here they sell a good variety of foods in number 10 cans that have a 30-year shelf life, if stored properly in a cool, dark place. Some of their locations also allow you to purchase the items in bulk and can it yourself there at the center to save even more money. But the center in my area does not have the canning machinery, so I was pretty much forced to buy all of my food already canned in the number 10 cans. And if I remember right, wheat was the only thing that they still sold in bulk. But their dried good items that are already canned, most have a 30-year shelf life and are already labeled with all the nutrition facts. And much of it is pretty comparably priced to the bulk stuff that you would buy from other stores. And if you buy bulk stuff that is from other stores, then you still have to buy the Mylar bags and the O2 absorbers and also the buckets if you can't find the buckets for free. So since their pre-canned foods have a 30-year shelf life and are pretty comparably priced to the bulk stuff from other stores, then you're actually saving money because you don't have to buy all the stuff to bag them up yourself. Let's take, for example, the black beans. They usually run $1 a pound in a lot of the bulk food stores, but at the LDS Center, they actually run about 95 cents per pound. Now, while a few pennies per pound difference isn't that much, where you really save at is not having to buy all the stuff to bag them up yourself and the time that you save not having to bag it and seal it and label it. But while most of their items seem to be relatively comparably priced to other stores, the potato flakes run about $1 per pound more so than what you would find in the other stores. But potato flakes are so fluffy, and trying to figure out just how many O2 absorbers to use to get all of that air out to ensure that they do have a long shelf life, that's always been a real hassle for me. Plus, when you buy instant mashed potatoes from a regular store, I believe that you have to be real careful to not pick any that has any butter in the ingredients, because I've heard that the butter will go rancid after a couple of years. So for me, it's worth the price difference, knowing that my LDS potato flakes will last up to 30 years. So here's how you utilize the LDS Home Storage Center. You go to their website and you print out their order form, and I'll put a link to their website down below. You then fill that order form out, and then you take it to the center, and then they'll actually fill the order for you. You then pay for your order and you leave. It's that simple. You also don't have to be a Mormon to shop there, and it's been my experience that they will not ask you about your religious beliefs while you're there. However, not every state has a LDS Center, but you can visit their website to see if they have one in close by you or not. And if they don't, you can still buy some of the stuff through their online store and have it shipped to your house. And I'll post a link to their online store below also. I also like that the food is in number 10 metal cans. I've heard horror stories from other preppers who have said that mice have chewed through the plastic buckets and even through the Mylar to get to the food inside. So I believe that the metal may at least be a little more pest resistant. And now this also has me thinking about replacing all of my plastic food grade buckets that hold my food preps and replacing them with metal buckets. But I've yet to do more research on this subject. But since the cans are metal, that'll probably mean that they can't be exposed to water or excessive moisture, so it's probably best to store them up off of the floor and to keep them away from high humidity, as this might corrode the metal over the years. Now you can buy these cans single or in a whole case, and I write the calorie count on the side of each box so it's easier for me to inventory my food and the total calorie count of all of my foods. But I like that the LDS Home Food Storage Center offers such a variety of foods that have a long storage life, because just plain old rice and beans would get really old really fast. But you can get apple slices and different types of beans and macaroni and both regular and quick oats and dry onions and potato flakes and spaghetti and wheat. All stuff that is supposed to last for 30 years and will add variety to your food preps. They also have stuff that doesn't last 30 years, such as they give their dry milk a 20-year shelf life, and their carrots have a 25-year shelf life, and their flour has a 10-year shelf life. Now, unfortunately, the LDS Home Storage Center doesn't carry all of the different types of foods that can be packaged for long-term food storage that I like to have in my food preps for variety. So I still had to purchase food like dried corn and red beans from other bulk stores so I could put them in Mylar with the oxygen absorbers myself. The food that's in this video I did get from the LDS Center, and I saved up the money from my extra job so that I could buy it all in one trip instead of making multiple trips. And all this food added up together is about 1,400,000 calories, and it cost me about $1,200. So this LDS food, combined with the dried goods that I had bought and packaged myself for long-term food storage, plus the Mountain House cases that I have, with all my food preps combined, I have a little over 3 million calories worth of food in my preps, or enough for my family of 3 to have enough food to have over 2,000 calories per day per person for about a year, not including the dried milk and sugar. Now, I have to give the Mormons this. Their food storage center was mind-blowing. Words cannot do it justice, and unfortunately I didn't get any video while I was inside there. But the amount of food that just this one center had is seriously reminding me of the warehouse scene in the last moments of the old Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. It was a huge warehouse, and all this food was done up and ready to be shipped off to aid people who were displaced by disasters. So I really have to give the Mormons kudos for the amount of food that they donate to the poor and to the people who have been displaced due to natural disasters. However, if SHTF were to hit, you wouldn't find me anywhere near one of those places, because I bet all of the looting that would be going on would make them dangerous places to be around. Anyways, folks, if you found this video to be informative, then please leave a comment below, and also please consider subscribing to this channel, as I plan on making many more videos down the road as time permits. Anyways, folks, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.